Okay, this lesson is week 3, day 2. You're going to be working with worksheet 122, multisyllabic words, homework 122 on the back. Now, this lesson, I think you're going to, it's kind of fun because it's kind of like figuring out a puzzle. And when you take a look at these words, yes, these are really long words. But what you're going to discover through this lesson is that using all of the different coding techniques that we have covered and learned all year long up to this point, it's really easy to go into a big word like this and figure out what it means using the codes that we've covered all year. Now, let me stop for just a second and say, I realize I'm clearing my throat a lot. What I've discovered through this process is that this little bottle of Expo cleaner that cleans this board back here, I think I'm allergic to it because every time I start spraying it, it messes me up and makes me cough and sneeze. So I'm not sick. I think I'm very allergic to Expo cleaner. So let me just put that out there because every time I do this board, I have to clean it off before I can do a new lesson because it won't just wipe off with my eraser. So I've discovered Expo cleaner is not my friend. So anyways, back to the lesson, multisyllabic words. I've got several really long words over here on the board. When you look up there, you may identify them right away, you may not. But I can assure you, you will come across words in the English language, whether your good shoe fit book level is way up here or way over here or out there or over there, you're going to come across words that you're not sure of that are going to be really long words. And if you go through the coding techniques, it will help you to figure them out. Okay, so we're going to start with this first word right here. And what have we talked about all year long? That when you get a big word like that, what do you need to do? You need to look and see if there's a final stable syllable or if there's a suffix. So if you look at this word right here, don't see a final stable syllable, but I do see what could be a suffix. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and, even though I don't really know, maybe, and maybe you don't know if what comes in front of that is actually a true base word by itself or not, we're going to go ahead and box this as though it's suffix ly, and we're going to continue to work through the rest of the coding of this word. Okay, and that's what you're going to be doing with your practice this week. All right. After you have looked for a final stable syllable or a suffix, then you need to look for just your regular things that we've learned, digraphs, trigraphs, combinations. See if you can identify any of them in the word, because that's part of pulling those puzzle pieces together and figuring out what the words say. Okay, so right off the bat, I do see combination OR. So I'm going to go ahead and code combination OR with the combination arc. And then I'm going to start looking to see if I see any vowel consonant patterns. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and just put the little V's underneath the vowels that I see. Okay, a vowel here, a vowel here, and a vowel here. And now I'm going to go ahead and just code with the little c, the consonants in between, and see what kind of patterns we have. M is a consonant, P is a consonant, R is a consonant, T is a consonant. Okay, so you can see by looking at this that we have a VCCV pattern here, and we have a VCCV pattern here. Okay, when you look carefully at those, you can see it's your basic VCCV pattern where you're going to split between the consonants. So I'm going to go ahead and split here. I'm going to go ahead and split here. Okay, and then look for whatever other codings I might find based on the splits. All right, so this is going to be short I. This O is part of this combination, so we're not going to do anything to the O. Over here, you do have a short A, and NT could be considered a blend, so we'll just go ahead and put the blend snake underneath it. Okay, now that we've done this, let's go ahead and work through sounding out the word. Okay, M, or, pour, t, a, nt, tent, suffix ly, ly. And then we put that together. Importantly. At that point, we can see that that was suffix ly, and what's in front of it is the base word important. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the next word. Okay, Again, what's the first thing we're looking for in a long word like this? That's correct. Does it have a suffix or does it have a final stable syllable? So when we look at this one, I don't see what I identify as a suffix, but I do see final stable syllable, T-I-O-N. So I'm going to go ahead and put the bracket in front of it for the final stable syllable. You should recall T-I-O-N says shun, like lotion. You'll remember the picture card had a bottle of lotion. T-I-O-N, final stable syllable, T-I-O-N. And then from here, again, we're going to look for any other of the common codings, combinations, digraphs, trigraphs, diphthongs, whatever we might see. Okay. For me, I've already identified, and you may have too, combination AR. So I'm going to go ahead and put the arc under combination AR. Okay. And then once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and look for vowel consonant patterns. So I'm going to look for the vowels. I'm going to go ahead and code those with the small c's. Okay. A is a vowel. I is a vowel. I is a vowel. A is a vowel. And that's part of final stable syllables. So I'm going to leave that alone. So you can tell right off the bat that this word right here, it has a lot of syllables. Because early on in the year, we learned, okay, that there is a vowel sound in every syllable. Okay, so we can tell this one's going to have a lot of syllables because of all the vowels we've just identified. Let's go back and plug in our small c's for consonants and see what kind of vowel patterns we have. All right, R is a consonant, T is a consonant, C is a consonant, P is a consonant. Okay, so taking a look at that, you can see we have a VCCV pattern, we have a VCV pattern, and we have a VCV pattern here. Okay, so at this point, we're going to go through and try to figure out where our splits are going to be. Okay, now this first VCCV pattern, you've got R, and so we're going to go ahead and split it like we normally do between the consonants. Okay, so there's that VCCV pattern. Now we're going to take a look at this VCV pattern. Okay, now on that next pattern there, all right, we're going to go ahead and do the split between the C and the I here. All right, so this is VCV splitting between the C and the I. Okay, and then in the next VCV pattern, we're going to go ahead and split right here in front of the consonant. All right. Now, again, you have to kind of play with those. I'm not doing that, but you may have to play with that, play with where your splits are to see if you can figure out where the splits should really be. Okay. I know where they are, so I can guide you through this in the right way. But if you go to sounding out the word and what you've done doesn't work, then you need to try other splits. Okay? So, because this is split here, this leaves us right here. So we know that's going to be a short I because it's sandwiched in between those two consonants. Okay? This is going to be a short I. This right here is going to be a long A because it's coming in front of that final stable syllable, and it is an open accented vowel. We know the accent goes there because it's a final stable syllable. The accent always goes in front of the final stable syllable there. Now, I don't want you to stress out and worry about where the accents go. I mean, it's good to know how we pronounce the words and where the accents go. It's easy to remember if you have a final stable syllable, the accented syllable is always right in front of the final stable syllable, but don't stress over that. Just do the best you can on those. Okay, so now that we've got our codes going on here, let's go ahead and sound this word out. R, par, t, now you could say tick, par, tick, but as you go through the process, you're going to realize that's actually a soft Sedalia C. Okay, it's not a C with a K back. So let's back it up. R, par, t, s, tis, I, p, a, pay, shun. R, tis, I, pay, shun. participation. Okay? These are long. I know they are. And you really have to think through as you sound those out, blending that back, putting them back together. Okay? Next one. These are going to be a little trickier. And I want you to take a look at these two right here and see if you notice anything different about these two than what we just did here. So pause the video for just a second. Take a look at those words. See if you can figure out what's different about those two words. Okay, what you should have noticed is they don't have final stable syllables, but what do they have? Suffixes. And not only do they have one suffix, but those words have two suffixes. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start by boxing the suffix in this first word right here. We're going to box suffix ly. We're going to box suffix ful. Okay, remember suffix ful means full of. Suffix ly is how it's being done. Okay, so we know we have our two suffixes. Remember, suffixes are their own syllables. Okay, now let's see what we're left with up here. Okay, by now you may have identified that that C is not a soft Sedalia C. It's a hard C that says K, so it needs a K back on it. You probably have identified long A consonant, silent E. And so let's go ahead and sound the word out. K, care, fully. Put it together, carefully. Okay, and yes, that one is a 3-syllable word, carefully. Last one, same thing you should have seen, suffix ly. This one also has suffix ish, okay, which is basically who or how someone is, right? And once we've done that, let's go ahead and code the rest of the word. You've got a vowel in between two consonants. So at that point, you know that that's going to be a short E, okay? LF could be considered a blend. So you can put your blend snake underneath that. And let's go ahead and sound that out. Ulf, self, ish, ly. Put it together, selfishly. Okay? So, there you go. That's what you do on these really long words. You go through the coding process that we've learned all year, work through that, see if you can figure out the pieces to the puzzle, and read what the word says on its own. That on your own. That's how we become better readers. Plus, we're learning new words, we're learning new vocabulary when we do that. And always, if it's a word that you figure out how to pronounce but you don't know what it means, find a dictionary. Google the word. Find a dictionary at home. Look it up. That increases your vocabulary and makes you a better reader. If you have any questions, let me know.